Mark, tell us about your involvement with care leavers, what your role is.
Well, my involvement is to visit local authorities. So there are three bits. One is to visit local authorities. So I've been to 80 local authorities in the last 7 years. My job is to do a bit of a review of what their offer for young people is, 16-year-old to 25, to do some challenge around corporate parenting, some challenge around the statutory duty to have a local offer in place, and to try and remove some of the cliff edges to make sure we support young people all the way to 25 and sometimes beyond that. The second bit that I do is that I sit on a care leavers inter-ministerial board that's chaired by my Secretary of State and Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister. And that's about bringing government ministers together to begin to look at the national policy that we've got for care leavers across the country and how we can improve the health offer, how we can improve the housing offer, transport offer, council tax, how many young people we've got in the criminal justice system. And then the third bit is talking to the young people and the stakeholders. I mean, they're our biggest stakeholder. The young person's voice has to be the most important bit. So those three bits come together into local policy and national policy on the voice of me being almost like the national advocate for those children and young people in care.
So with all your experience, if you had to select one thing that was a priority for the future, what would that be?
I mean, I think it would be guaranteed mental health services, absolutely, because if we get the mental health bit right, and in this country we've got something called Operation Courage, which if you are an armed forces vet and you come out of the army with some sort of trauma or you've had some sort of experience that hasn't been particularly great for you, you can access a mental health service without having to go through mainstream services, a bespoke mental health service for care leavers, and that's nationally. We can build something very similar for care leavers at a huge reduction in the cost as it is, because we've got a lot more veterans than we have. We've only got 92,000 care leavers in the country who could access that locally and nationally. So it would be a bespoke mental health service for care leavers, not built into existing systems, but they could link into systems. But you walk in and they're seen within 24 hours, like Operation Courage.
And just finally, an event like this, why do you believe it's important?
I think it's important to bring, organisations together to show that we have got one voice, and I think that's really, really important, because sometimes the voice isn't always heard locally, regionally, and sometimes nationally. So I think Fatima's campaign, and I've known Fatima for many years, I think she's right that this is the first of many. We hope that there'll be a paper that'll come from this. There'll be some recommendations to government, and then in a year's time, I'm hoping that she'll revisit it and say, so what next? So what next? And what next? So absolutely, I think it's important to get one voice across the four nations is really powerful.